as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and I'm delighted to welcome back to the programme another Biz Lunch winner. Jeremy Ferguson of Spectrum IFA has a wonderful Biz Lunch set up, and he has great people who go to those lunches. And now, every so often, we get to welcome one to the show. And today it's Myan Monkey Chocolate.
Myan Monkey Mijas.
Myan Monkey Mijas, but you do chocolate.
Absolutely. Myan Monkey Mijas Chocolate Factory and Happiness Lab.
Well, how can you not have chocolate without happiness?
Exactly.
It's like synonymous. Are you
right.
a chocolate fiend yourself, Ellie?
Pretty much. Actually, we've been in Mijas for 10 years now, Nicole, and so many people say, oh, you mustn't eat chocolate anymore. And the answer is every single day. Not just because it needs to be taste tested, and one of the most amazing things as well throughout lockdown and post-pandemic, the new normal, blah, 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 is that there's been so much innovation and new products and new workshops, etc., etc. But it's the pleasure of it. Chocolate is pleasure, isn't it?
Well, how did this even come about? I mean, I can see that you love chocolate, but to actually make it into a business, and such an interactive business, which is what I think is so awesome.
Well, honestly, when we reopened in July, we were just so happy to get back, to be there with people, welcome them in, taking them to visit the museum, doing chocolate workshops, etc., etc. But I'll have to backtrack 10 years. So my partner and I, Jason Godwin, who's a number of businesses down here in the Costa del Sol, also an acquaintance and friend of Jeremy's and Michelle's. 10 years ago, we met, decided that we wanted to set up a business together, and chocolate ended up being what it was. So we batted through a number of different ideas, decided, I didn't like it, he didn't like it, would take too long to bring to market, it was going to take, I don't know, too much investment, whatever. And then one day we're on holidays in the Alpujarra, on the other side of the Sierra Nevada, saw a chocolate factory in Pampanera, and literally the inner kid went, oh, that's what I want to do. And both inner kids agreed. So yeah, 10 years later, we're still in Mijas Pueblo. And the business has developed as well from just a chocolate factory to within, I'm going to say, a month and a half, 2 months, to being an environment where it was very obvious that people wanted to come in and see what we're doing. So from there, from showing them how it was we're making chocolate, giving them the opportunity to do it as well. So, one would make truffles, one would make bars, etc., etc. And then we started to formalize workshops, created a museum, started making ice creams, then diversified into, I don't know, vegan, dietary restrictions, etc., etc. We make books as well. We make all our own packaging. So it's actually a really fun and very, very diverse business.
So it's actually progressed into like a little department store.
Not thought of it that way. And actually it's funny because there's so much craft in it. I mean, literally everything is done from scratch, and we're very zealous as well about sourcing. For example, I don't know if it's something that you or your viewers maybe know about, the dark side of chocolate within the cacao sector. The vast majority of the world's cacao comes from West Africa, specifically from the Ivory Coast and Ghana. And the best working conditions are pretty deplorable, and the worst working conditions are slave labour. And the worst example of that is child slave labour. So this is something that...
So just by eating chocolate, we are promoting that? Unwittingly, obviously.
It depends. Most industrially produced chocolate is made with cacao from the Ivory Coast. But
you're talking major companies that obviously are ignoring this issue.
You're talking about major companies that are very, very intentionally ignoring the issue. There's actually a court case that was brought very recently, and it's waiting to come to court, by a legal firm in New York called IR Advocates against some really big names in chocolate. The case is being brought on behalf of ex-child slaves who worked on plantations producing cacao for those companies. And part of the objective is to really raise consumer awareness of where your chocolate comes from, and are you reading the label, and are you contributing to perpetuating the cycle of exploitation and misery. And I mean, I remember in, I don't know, I'm going to say when I was probably late teens, reading about it in the Sunday Times. So this is like 1980, I don't know what. Everything was still black and white, right? really about child slave labour in cacao in the Ivory Coast. When I set up the chocolate factory, I didn't think about it because I presumed, oh, the Times brought awareness to that issue, so that's obviously been solved. No, it's gotten worse over that period of time. The conditions for cacao farm workers and cacao farmers in the 1970s were actually better than they are today. But the good news and the glimmer of hope is that the kind of chocolate factory that we are, so artisanal craft, it's like a new sector within chocolate.
So where do you get your cacao from? How do you do your production?
Right, so our cacao comes primarily from the Dominican Republic, which is the world leader in organic cacao production. Something like 98% of its cacao is organic, and it's we work with a company called ICAM. It's an Italian company, and their philosophy is it's ethical, it's fully traceable, it's sustainable. Not everything is organic, but some of it is organic as well, because they also have other sources. So, for example, Peru, Uganda, or other countries that they bring cacao from. But that is super, super important for us as a company. And it's funny because when we started, we weren't aware of it. We became aware of it in 2016 at a sustainable cacao conference in Amsterdam called Chocoa. It's an annual event that takes place to create connection between the farmers and the chocolate makers, the chocolatiers, and the chocolate factories. And that's where we realized, oops, there's this big unknown secret kind of staring in your face in the chocolate world. So we came back to Spain, started to call our supplier, realized we weren't getting answers. That made us suspicious. And then it turned out, yes, they admitted to the fact that there was the cacao, a lot of it was coming from the Ivory Coast. So we cut relations with them. Obviously, if you think as well that 70% of the world's supply comes from the Ivory Coast, you're talking about a really small percentage in terms of remaining supply. So, and because it's not produced with child slave labor or with slave labor, then the prices there's a huge difference. So when we changed to ICAM, our margins shrunk by 40%, which is massive in business, but it's just a different...
You have a clean conscience.
Yes, we sleep easy at night.
And you are creating awareness. I had no idea. I've never read any articles on this. So it's fabulous to know that now I'm more educated.
Well, this is part of it's part of our mission, part of our vocation. It's part of the reason why we created the Chocolate Museum as well. Of course, this year, so since March 2020, right? We've all lost track of time. We've not done any school trips, but prior to that, we work a lot with local and also international schools, and we have a whole area set up for learning within the Chocolate Museum. We actually we've had one trip since the new normal descended upon us, which is fantastic. And the kids were doing a project on cacao, and this was a huge area that we looked at them in relation to chocolate and chocolate production.
And what a great thing also, I mean, I don't know if you do this, but birthday parties and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Big people birthday parties and small people birthday parties. So this Sunday, for example, we have an adult birthday party. So that will involve things like cava and chocolate pairing, truffle making, bonbon making, etc., etc. When it's the kids, it's more, well, your average kid's birthday party, right? Woo!
But it's nice, particularly now with restrictions, everything changing, to look for those alternative ways to celebrate, that you haven't got large groups, but you can still do something fun and educational in this case.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is as well, we, of course, have adapted for COVID, and we go beyond the legal requirements in terms of what our protocols consist of. So, for example, all groups that come to the chocolate factory are fully private. So in the old normal, we'd have somebody on their own, maybe a couple, maybe a family of 4, and we could have up to 20 people in the factory. But now, whether it's one person on their own or 2 people or 3 people, that group are the only people that are going to be in the chocolate factory during the time of the workshop, which it's safer, but of course it's much more intimate, it's more fun, it's more relaxed, and of course you've got the undivided attention of your chocolatier as well.
Chocolatier, now that is a lovely word. So what makes one a chocolatier? How do you get that title of chocolatier?
Working with chocolate for a living. So fundamentally, a chocolatier is someone who creates chocolate confections, so things like bars, soft center chocolates, like caramel centers. I don't know, at the moment we're working on a gorgeous new collection of vegan soft centers, mainly nut-based. So for example, turron, so nougat, pistachio, sunflower seed, tahini, etc., etc.
My children are plant-based diet, I think is the way of saying it, as opposed to saying vegan, that sometimes sounds kind of culty, that if you're vegan for the uneducated. So it's nice to know that more and more things are coming out that are suitable for them.
I think it's necessary as well, because it's interesting, Nicole, since we started, and if I look at inquiries and the things that people ask, let's say in 2012, 2013, you know, do you have dairy-free chocolate? Do you have, you know, can you offer me a nut-free alternative, etc., etc.? That kind of inquiry in relation to dietary restrictions we'd get maybe once every couple of months. Now it's every second phone call, and plant-based or vegan, because I see them as two different things, because plant-based is more your diet and vegan is, you know, what you wear, etc., etc. Definitely there is a huge demand for plant-based, and it's also got a lot to do with I guess as well the performance, sports, nutritional aspect of it as well. It's considered healthier, isn't it? You know, so
a lot of athletes, even Hamilton racing drivers, have gone to the plant-based diet because it's healthier.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, we about 3 years ago converted our bakeware range to gluten-free because there was such a demand. And you know, my attitude is, if I can make it as good and it's inclusive, then it's better to do it that way rather than have this is gluten, that doesn't have gluten. So everything's been gluten-free for 3 years, and now our next challenge is to veganize as well. So we're not there, not everything is veganized, but for example, the brownies, the cookies, etc., etc.
And the good thing is, I know that with my cake, for the 300th show that Margie's Cake did it, and it was a vegan cake. And here a few people say, oh, vegan, but they had no idea that it wasn't just a normal cake. So when it's well done, you really don't know the difference, and it's healthier.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, it's not that we're advertising the fact that it's vegan or plant-based, but if somebody asks, then you explain that, yes, and what's in it? Okay, there's avocado in this, and there's cashew in the other, etc., etc. And a lot of the time it's better to not say it, because then, you know, a lot of people have preconceived notions about gluten-free and plant-based.
They really do say, just some of my companions here, the fact that I mentioned to one because he doesn't eat animals that it was vegan, the rest were like, oh, I don't want that cake.
Yeah, it must be awful.
But it's really, exactly, it's a whole new concept now to what it used to be. The recipes, you and your partner, okay, let's do Chocolate Factory. But then the actual recipes of the chocolates, did you go online, did you go to a book, or did they come from your taste buds?
They came mainly from a combination of ideas, innovation, and what our customers look for. So when we started, we had a lot of flavors that we discontinued because we noticed that people just weren't responding to them. And for example, the fact that we're adding more vegan options has to do with what people look for. So Mijas Pueblo, I mean, Mijas is just so beautiful, and it's a gorgeous day trip, or obviously it's, you know, the old normal as well, such a touristic destination. A lot of the old normal visitor profile would be very classic in terms of taste, so retired couples perhaps, or families with young kids who are maybe fussy. So when it comes to our ice creams, and all of our ice creams, they're all made with organic milk, organic cane sugar, same gastronomic production values as with the chocolate, of course. The most popular ones are vanilla, so we use organic Madagascan vanilla powder, and strawberry, or with the chocolate as well. I mean, let me see, we had one with wasabi and mint, which was incredible. It was kind of like the ultimate nasal, you know, cold relief. But it was a little bit too out there, you know. So I think if we were in, I don't know, maybe Barcelona or Madrid or London, then we'd have a different product range. But it's good fun as well. We're always playing with things, force-feeding friends, you know.
And how do we get them? Can you buy just from the factory or online?
We ship as well. Yeah, we absolutely ship. The thing is, we're now coming to the time of the year, though, where it's too hot, and to ship without using refrigerated transportation. Of course, the problem with refrigerated transportation is that it's that expensive. The lot of time, the cost of the shipping is higher than the cost of the chocolate. So, and also it's less sustainable. So what we say to people is, look, realistically, we like to think that we can ship from, say, mid-September to mid-April, give or take. I mean, it depends on each year, obviously.
But we can come always to the
Yeah.
factory. And do you have any other distribution outlets?
Not currently, no. Well, locally we do, but shall we say further afield in other parts of Spain, no. But this has also got to do with the new normal as well, no? So things are kind of like resettling. I mean, we have a shop in Malaga, for example. Not us, but we through a lovely shop called Pistacho y Azafrán in Malaga.
So you do actually give consignments to other
Yeah,
places.
exactly. We sell wholesale as well.
Well, it's absolutely wonderful. It's so exciting.
Well, the most exciting thing is not to listen to what I have to say about it, but actually to come to Mijas and to get stuck in and to make chocolate yourself. Because, you know, when people come into the shop, is that if you have the time, you know, buy or don't buy, but come in, you know, because then you make it according
Well, let's
to...
see if we can actually make that happen. We now are going to go to some messages from our sponsors and our Zero Hero partners, but stay tuned, because who knows? Maybe we're going to go and do a little bit of Myan monkey Mijas. Yes. Thank you so much, Ellie.
Pleasure.
Just really cool to have this in our community. Don't go away.
Hey, hey.
John's car is still being repaired, so he's delighted that Judy has come to pick him up. However, after a very heavy business trip, he's less than enthusiastic when her car breaks down.
I ain't sure with Linear Director.
She tells John,
So please do relax. I've got this.
and she had. The taxi was there in no time. Her car safely towed for repairs, and a courtesy car readily available. Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 to see how they can better your life too.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
We are at one. We are at
Myan is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
How cool is that? G-Wine.
Let the music
Glad and are proud to present Zero the Hero, Never Drink and Drive.
so much trouble.
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
Poison arrows.
Out of bounds, Zero Hero partners.
Here we are, sticker going on. Delighted to welcome everybody and to be part of the Zero Hero campaign. Delighted.
Zero Hero, welcome here. And the Gaucho de Maroons.
We are at one. We are at
Welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much.
Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabo Pino.
Let it set you on your way. No need to.
Guys, Kazakhstan is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
Not the best day to come to Mijas, but certainly lovely to see it in a different light or in this mist. Myan Monkey Mijas Chocolate Factory Museum. Hi, so lovely to be here. Morning.
This is Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Sam will make you lovely hot chocolate and give you ice cream and chocolate bonbons and cake afterwards.
Wonderful.
Got a selection here of freshly made chocolates, including some vegan bits. For example, we've got here our energy balls. A lot of the fillings are completely vegan as well. Like for example, all of the nut butters. Watch out for the dragons. So let's go to the chocolate factory.
We are at one. We are at one. We are at
Nice all security
So that's
systems.
the Oompa Loompa door. You'll see
Oompa Loompa door.
Come on in, come on in. That's Jessie, Nicole.
Hi, Jessie.
Come around the table for me. You can put your bags and jackets and whatnot.
Anna, good morning.
Hello, this is exciting.
Now, obviously, getting ready for all the sanitation. There's our lovely Anna Scott.
Let's get our handies done. There we go.
And now my turn.
Here you've got the 3 different chocolates. You've got the dark, you've got the milk, you've got the white. It's all organic. That's a 70% dark chocolate, a 44% milk chocolate, and a 30% white chocolate. And if you look very closely at the white chocolate, you can see the little specks of dark. That's the organic vanilla powder that's mixed through. Yeah, it's actually a really good white chocolate. So it's also ethically sourced, which is quite a big deal. Right, so we've got a selection of molds. We have a number of different workshops that we do. For example, you can learn to make bonbons with us, dragons, which is super good fun for the kiddies. Although, to be honest, we've as many adults want to do the dragons workshop as children. Lollipops, dipped fruit truffles, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so if you come with me, and I want to show you how you're going to do it, okay? And in this case, the easiest way is to just hold the mold like this, so you've basically got one hand free, yeah? So you take the spatula, this is a number of different functions, and I'm not going to do it on the mold, you're going to do it on the mold, but basically turn it down, because if you look at the amount of chocolate that's coming out this way versus this way, and also a little bit of wrist action.
Okay.
Of course, you've got a lot more, so you can just do this, and you'll then paint the mold, and we can then fill it in with the milk chocolate.
Okay.
You up for it?
So that's the decoration on the top,
Yes, exactly on the top of the bonbon.
but it starts at the
So
bottom.
just the corner of the spatula. And bring your mold in a little bit more. That's it. And you can go faster with your wrist as well. It becomes a lot easier.
one. Let the music get to your heart. Let it set you on your way. No time to hesitate. We are all the same. So much trouble tearing us apart. Poison arrows shoot straight to your heart. We can change if we try. Just believe it's worth your time. One. We are at one. We are at one. We are at one.
The way we put the ingredients on is lightest first. So for example, the essential oils is the very first thing to go on. So you don't have to worry now if you want essential oils. When we get the chocolate into the mold, we'll add that. But what I would like to do is get a couple of molds for you ladies with some different ingredients, yeah? So the question for both of you is, what would I like in my chocolate?
Choosing ours, we've got caramel.
You're gonna do pistachio as well, wasn't it?
So much choice.
I know!
Our choice of ingredients.
We're going to start with the dark. This has to do with control of contaminants. Of course, there's no dairy in the dark, whereas there is in the milk and white. So here what we need to do is, I'm going to set my weight. We'll do it together, we'll do it together. You can do it. Right, so come up close and keep your foot on the pedal now, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and out again. It does go very fast, as you see we kind of got a little splash. We got a little splash on the way back out.
Very well done, Anna.
Very well
Just a
done.
little bit over there, wasn't it?
Just a tiny bit. Good for the first one. Right, can I go and have a coffee now?
Yeah, go on.
And leave this will be on. So back on the pedal, come up the stars here. What needs to stay on the pedal, Anna?
Okay.
So again, once it stops, you come in, go down, and then back out again. In, all the way down, and out. Whoops.
Oh.
Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way. No need to hesitate. Time to make a change. There'll be no trouble tearing us apart.
What we're going to do now is we're going to use the vibration tool in order to level it and get rid of any air bubbles. You see some of the air bubbles here pop. This one's there. One second. This makes for smoother coconut savouring experience. All right. I think you are good to go. So back to the table.
One beating heart. We can change if we try. Just believe it's worth your time. One. We are at one. We are at one. We are at one. We are at one.
Look at that expertise.
In you go.
Handmade caramel.
We also do a vegan caramel, although we need to make some more, but that's a coconut milk base.
I feel like I'm on Bake Off.
That's all right. Some could have more, some could have less.
Awesome, Ellie. This is so much fun.
It is so much fun.
Let's go down and have a cup of coffee. This is lovely, very charming. And look, all their lovely monkeys. You tell you've got a great smile, even though we can't see half your face. Those eyes are beaming. Where this place is positioned. All these stairs. Mijas for keeping fit. And now we're having hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, look at that.
You've got one little one.
Another coffee from Nana.
Look, baby one.
Green tea. Is that Anna? Can't wait to try that chocolate.
This one for little
Oh, and a baby one.
If that was too strong for her, let me know.
Okay.
I can add a little bit of white chocolate just to sweeten it up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. That sounds good. That sounds good, huh?
We have pistachio centers and peanut centers. Those two are vegan, and then for Anna I've done a red wine caramel. Ooh, I've done a praline, a different school.
We are at one. We are at one. We are at one. We are at
Little face.
She doing a good job, Lee? Yeah. At the Chocolate Museum.
we are at one. We are at one. We are at one. We are at one.
Thank you for joining me for more of what's going on in Marbella now. If you'd like to check out the past recordings of other shows, you can do so very easily from the RTV Marbella website or YouTube channel. And also there's a link to the program from my website, nicoleking.es, which incidentally also has links to the Zero Hero website and my Marbella Moments column in the Euro Weekly News. That's it for today. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
We can change if we try.